What's up guys, Cal here today with the 2026 Nissan Frontier Pro-4X. If you guys remember back in 2024, I drove the Nissan Frontier S, the base trim, and absolutely loved it. I loved the simplicity of that truck. Today we're going to talk about the updates for 2026. We're going to look at the undercarriage of this Pro-4X, and then I'm going to tell you if the Nissan Frontier is my top pick for this midsize truck market. First off, let's start under the hood with what is keeping people coming back to the Nissan Frontier, and that is this naturally aspirated 3.8 liter V6 putting out 310 horsepower and 281 pound-foot of torque. It's hooked up to a 9-speed transmission, and I really do think this is a big reason a lot of people are coming back to the Nissan Frontier as their top choice in this midsize truck segment. I mean, with everything going to a turbocharged 4-cylinder or a turbocharged 6-cylinder, I think is one of the options in this segment. To have a naturally aspirated V6 is huge, and I really think is what it makes this truck. So this is a huge reason I personally would buy this truck. And also, Nissan did not cheap out under here. As you guys can see, I have struts for the hood here. When I test drove the Tacoma recently, I had to take out a little prop bar like I was driving a Toyota Corolla, but I wasn't in a Corolla, I was in a Tacoma. So it's really nice to see that Nissan, even under the hood, is not cheaping out here. They actually throw some struts under here for you. And before we look at the undercarriage of this Pro-4X, let's go ahead and talk about some of the changes that you guys can expect for this 2026 model year. We'll start by talking about trim packages, the big stuff. So the SV trim now offers a dark armor package. So that's going to give you stuff like blacked out 17-inch alloy wheels. You're going to have dark mirror caps, dark exterior badges, a dark front grille, and that tailgate out back. That is also going to have some black lettering as well. Roush Performance is partnering with Nissan to bring you guys the Pro-4X R. That is going to take obviously the Pro-4X that we have now up to the next level. So I'm really excited to test that out in the future and see how those upgrades look in person. Citrus Strike is also a new paint color for 2026. If you guys remember in 2025, we had that afterburn orange added. That was a really cool color. Citrus Strike is here for 2026. I think it's a pretty rad looking color. I don't know if I would want to daily drive something that bright, but I do applaud Nissan for offering such a sweet, different looking color. The SV 4x4 and the Pro-4X now get a drive mode selector, so it gives it even greater off-road ability in some of those sticky situations. The Pro trims also are now getting more comfort and convenience things standard. Things like heated seats, heated steering wheel, remote start, all coming standard now. You're not going to be able to get those trucks without those features. And lastly, the S and the SV trims now get standard LED headlights. You will no longer have the option to get those halogens that you saw in my 2024 Nissan Frontier review. Those are gone. You guys are only going to have those LED headlights as your choice up front now. Let's go ahead and take a look at that undercarriage on the Pro-4X here, and they did a really nice job under here as well. As you guys can see, starting up front, we have these awesome looking red tow hooks up front, and then as we move down here, nice burly skid plate to start off in the front section right here, another one right behind that as we move further back. And then if we head to the center section, you guys will see that Nissan didn't cheap out in the center either. We have a skid plate right there, and then also heading further back, another skid plate right there. And then as we head to the back here, guys will see that there's a nice big spare tire for us under here, and then also the Bilstein, however you want to say it, shocks, that blue and yellow. They are so pretty to look at. Got those leaf springs instead of coil springs under here. That is awesome. If we go to the other side and take a look at that Bilstein or Bilstein shock on this side as well, it is just so pretty under here. So Nissan didn't cheap out on the undercarriage of this Frontier either. Taking a tour of the exterior of the Pro-4X real quick. If you guys did see the 2025 model, that is basically the same as this 2026 as far as appearance goes. I haven't seen any huge updates out here, but if you guys have, let me know if there are any differences. Window sticker, 2026 Nissan Frontier Pro-4X. Obviously we've got the V6. This of course has the 4x4. Have all that info there. You guys can pause on any one of these columns if you guys want to take a look at some of that info. Now we get over to the added on stuff here. Pro convenience package, over $1,600 for all these things here. You got the intelligent around view monitor, so you have that surround view camera. In my opinion, not really the best surround view camera in the game. It's kind of grainy, but it does at least get the job done. You guys got some other options in that package as well, like the spray and bed liner, which I have to say, like most factory spray and bed liners are, it is very well done. The spray and liner looks gorgeous in here. here. It feels thick. It feels like it's gonna last a long time. If we come over here, the Pro Premium package, $3,000, comes with the Fender 10 speaker audio system, which, let me just say, how rad are those speakers? I love the look of this little logo that they have on the speakers in here. To me, they are just so cool. I like that little detail. I also like the red on the door trim here. And then if we come to the option package again, it's got the leather appointed seats. So you guys will see, they also did really well on these. I mean, look at those cool, it's a perforated leather seat. The leather feels high quality, feels expensive, at least to me. It's got the red dots within the perforated parts. Pro-4X, I don't know, everything, every surface I've come across on this new Frontier, they're doing a really nice job with. It's got the home link system, the slide and tilt sunroof. Very beautiful to have on a nice blue sky day like it is today. I think that's about it for that package. A couple other things. Everything comes to $49,430. So I know that seems like a lot of money. It is a lot of money. I don't know if I would want to pay that much for a Frontier. I might go for a base trim, although I really do appreciate how pretty this is. And if I was going to have a Frontier as my daily, I might pick this because then you kind of have all the options and you have the simplicity of a nice NA V6 truck with all the cool off-road niceties and that sweet looking interior and a sunroof. I also personally love having a sunroof. So LED headlights, LED fog lights down below. The grille that you guys saw last year for 2025. You guys see the 3 slats right there. I'm sure someone has already installed yellow LED lights in all those little bays up front. 17-inch wheels down here. This was on the Frontier Pro-4X last year. I love the rally car vibes to these with these little slats right here. The Pro designation on the wheel as well. Have the Dynapro AT2s. This is a 265/70/17. Very nice looking tire. Awesome tire profile on them as well. Super thick. It gives this truck a pretty menacing look. If you squint, it sort of looks like a mini Raptor. It's pretty cool. Again, like I said earlier, you do have that around view monitor on both mirrors, and then the passive entry, which looks like it is straight off of a Nissan Pathfinder from like 2014, but I like the nostalgic touch. I like that nostalgic feel to it. And then no passive entry on the rear door handles. As for your fuel door, open that up. Doesn't look like it says anything about premium, so you can put just 87 in this NAV6. The wheel wells do have these nice arches going around there to protect from rock chips. Pro-4X stickering on the bedside. And then in the rear end, you guys will see these taillights do appear to be the same as the 2024 model that I drove. And then the bumpers down here are paint matched, and the tailgate does have a little applique to give it, again, sort of a mini Ford Raptor look. It does say Pro-4X right there, which is really cool. And this paint color is called Boulder Gray, and I've spent a little bit of time with this truck, and I'm really starting to dig this color. It is a $450 option, but I think this Boulder Gray is really cool. What do you guys think of this color? Talking about payload capacity here in the Nissan Frontier Pro-4X, you guys will see that the tailgate does have a nice soft drop, and it is super light to pick back up. Look at that thing, floats. Super sweet tailgate on the Pro-4X here. The payload capacity is 1,220 pounds on this Pro-4X model. Now the max payload capacity that you can get on a Frontier in general, they say, is 1,590 pounds. And I really like the bed back here because it is super versatile. You guys will see that the rails that they have, where you can put those 2 adjustable cleats that they give you, gives you endless options as to where you're going to put your tie downs. And then the 4 fixed hooks around the bed are also a huge help. The LED under rail lighting gives you plenty of light at nighttime, and then the 120 volt outlet back here is also going to come into use. Maybe throw a Keurig in that thing. Would that thing power a Keurig for some coffee? That'd be actually a pretty good experiment. So if you guys are going to be one of those people who actually uses your truck bed and you want to throw a couple dirt bikes back here and take some bikes out for the weekend, you can do that in the Frontier here. They make it super easy with a very versatile bed for this segment. And towing capacity for the short wheelbase Pro-4X, I believe, is 6,680 pounds. We'll go ahead and come down here and take a look at your electrical hookups here. Have your old style, got your new style down there, and then come down here, take a look at your receiver, and you got the spot for your chains down there as well. Checking out the back seat space of the Pro-4X Frontier here, they thought of usability on every level. This is my 26-ounce Yeti tumbler, and this is the first truck I have ever seen where a huge Yeti water bottle fits. And sitting behind myself, I have the front chair in the same position it was when I was sitting up front. And you guys can see me at 6'2". My knees, they are touching, but it's not like digging into it. I don't feel like I have to do a crazy straddle to get around the chair. So fair space in the back seat here, and kids are going to be happy because we got the USBs for days, and then there's also a household power outlet right there. And the leather in here, it's very nice, guys. And stepping into the driver's seat, you guys are greeted by many cool orange and red accents in here, as you guys can see just from first glance. Look at this finish, that metallic orange finish right there. It looks like something you'd see in a speedboat. That looks really awesome. It plays off of the orange stitching everywhere else in the interior. You have these Frontier letters right here, which are also oranged out, as well as the logo on the steering wheel. The gauges also have touches of that orange color. These seats, let's talk about those bolsters. Look at how sweet those bolsters are. That Pro-4X lettering that is stitched in, and that perforated leather, as you guys can see. Just orange accents and attention to detail everywhere you look. And another part I like about the Frontier, guys, is how easy everything in this interior is to understand if you're not someone who is super tech advanced. Everything in here, the buttons, they say what they need to say. There's nothing cryptic about them, right? If we go down to this section here, you guys will see it says cargo lamp, your locking diff. You have the power outlet button to turn your power outlets on. You have tow mode. On the steering wheel, it is the same story, right? Source, that's probably going to switch what source I'm on. This is going to change radio stations. This goes through your volume right there. You have the cruise control stuff over here, the adaptive cruise. Everything says what it needs to say. There's not an overbearing amount of control in the radio screen. You still have physical buttons down here, AC controls. You see down here, heated seats and heated steering wheel. They're not on a screen like some other trucks have. Four-wheel drive selector down there. You can shut auto stop start off with that button there. The drive mode selector, that is new for 2026, as you guys can see right there. Sand, on-road, mud, rock, and then I'm assuming that's a hill descent control. The cup holder in the center fits the 26-ounce Yeti tumbler. It's just a few buttons at the bottom, right? I have phone. Obviously, that is what it sounds like. It takes you to the phone menu. I have info there. That gives me all the info for the truck if I want to go through that. Audio, that is what it sounds like. It is your radio. Map, got a nice built-in navigation in case your cell signal goes down. Connections, that's where you're going to hook up your Bluetooth stuff. So everything in this truck, guys, is so simple to operate. This whole interior, I'm very impressed with it. Nissan, to me, did not skimp on this interior. Let's go. Well, she's sprightly. She gets up and goes, does what she needs to do, that's for sure. Not going to be the most overwhelming experience in here, but I do have to say the engine note coming from the V6 is very, very nice. Very, very welcomed, especially coming from driving a few trucks in recent times that have a screaming 4-cylinder under the hood that has a very metallic sound. This sounds very smooth. It has a nice buttery engine note to it. It is just so good to hear 6 cylinders instead of 4 cylinders in this truck. Another thing I'm liking about this truck is the steering. I'm pretty sure this does still have the hydraulic power steering. That's what the 2024 model had that I drove back a couple years ago, and it feels fantastic because it has great weighting to it, and it really does feel like a proper truck steering. Like, this is how I assume the Frontier's steering felt 15 years ago, which is a good thing. I mean, I think a lot of us want a truck to feel like a truck when you get into it and drive it, and that's exactly what this Frontier feels like in here. And as for the 9-speed transmission in here, it's not the snappiest transmission to downshift when you want it to, but I wouldn't say it's any slower or any clunkier than the 8-speed that's in the Canyon and the Colorado. I would say this is a step better than that personally, because I really have never thought that GM's 8-speed was all that good. So the 9-speed in here, in my opinion, is a little bit better than that one. Okay guys, so to answer my question from the beginning, would I choose the Nissan Frontier here as my top choice in this midsize truck segment? And my answer is a resounding yes. This thing is absolutely incredible in my opinion. I love the nostalgic feel of this truck. I love when you're driving it that it feels like you have buttons for everything, and it has heavy steering, and it has a V6 without a turbo, and overall the whole handling of the truck actually feels like a truck. It doesn't feel like these new refined cars of today's day and age, like the GMC Canyon or the Toyota Tacoma, how those are a little more subdued. They're a little bit more refined. This here actually feels like a truck. You can feel a little bit of body roll in the corners, which again, like I said earlier, depending on who you are, it's a good or a bad thing, but it reminds me of an era that has gone by, and I really like that about the Frontier. It kind of gives me that nostalgic feel behind the wheel. One of my favorite eras of car is like that 2004-ish car era. If you guys remember all the sweet rides back then and that day, like the IS 300. If you guys are like me and you like that nostalgic feel of not everything in the car being digital, you guys are absolutely gonna love the Nissan Frontier. I hope you guys did enjoy my review of the Nissan Frontier. Before I let you go, I did want to thank my friends at Bob Johnson Nissan for letting me use the Frontier to review for you guys today. I'll have all their info in the description down below if you want to check out their Frontier inventory. If you haven't already, like the video and subscribe, as I am releasing new car reviews like this all the time. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next new car review.